Now, as fly tyers, we can experiment, we can mess about with materials, colours and such like. Now this is one of these flies that I've tied. This is just a make-up, obviously good materials, colours, you can't go far wrong. But within this are some nice tying methods, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the tying and have a go, hopefully. Hook choice can be up to yourself. This is just a gold hook size, equivalent to a size 6. Now the ones you can buy, like the Patriot from Partridge, there's the Alec Jackson, Daiichi, they do a nice space style hook which is much equivalent to this. And you can tie them different sizes obviously. Now the thread I'm using, this is the Unithread 80 in red. I'm just going to start at the eye of the hook, come down, just to the point where you'll see how the eye has been formed by the bend of the wire. There's a small step there, so I'll be tying some flat tinsel, tinsel, this one here, it's extra strong. This is a Lagartun tinsel. Now it is quite flat, that's when I mentioned the word flat, but it's a nice tinsel to use. Need another piece. Now you can use whatever tinsels you have. Now I'm going to catch this on the way down, and as I say, tie it on my side just to compensate for that small step. Takes it away, and just quickly run your thread down. Now because of the style of this hook, it's got a bend or a shank that continuously bends to go to and runs onto the bend of the hook. So I'm going to stop it short of the point, say there. Then I'm going to use some dyed yellow seals for a nice warm yellow. Now you could use SLF, you can use synthetic fibre, it's up to yourself. So lightly dub it onto the thread, enough on that obviously is going to get me halfway up. Now I'm sliding it up. Now the way I dub is basically to get it anchored or get it started, and then from that point I can tighten up and then build up a shape, a taper in the body. Just work your way up. I'm going to go back here, then come back in. Now I went back there because it came away, so just tightening back up. You look at about halfway is there. It's nice and tight. Just work the dubbing to suit yourself. Take away the excess. Now at this point I'm going to tie in 2 hackles. Tie in this hot orange. This is a Chinese cock neck. It's a large hackle. Now and this here is basically this is white-eared pheasant dyed Sunburst. Now what you can use instead of this is use the tips of Marabou dyed Sunburst to give you the same idea. The cock hackle helps to lift or hold the fibres out, especially in the Marabou. So I'm going to tie this on. Tip forward, draw it back, and then we can trim this away. Then give a spey hackle. Again we tie it in by the tip. Sit it on the top. Keep it nice and tight. This time I'm going to trim this to the point where I tied in the actual rib. Again I'm going to fill up this space just using the material. You can probably see there, and then come back down, ready to tie in the second part of the body, which is red seals fur, or you can use SLFs. Just look nicely, do the exact same thing, enough on to get it to that point here. Slide it up and continue up the body, just thicken the taper, tighten up the dubbing as you wind. Give yourself plenty of room at the head, at least 4mm for the front hackle, which is going to be, you can either be Teal or Widgeon body feather, or even it could be guinea fowl, just an actual guinea fowl feather. Now what I'm going to do is wind these towards myself so that when I bring the rib up, it's going to counter up the hackles and hold them on, so it's going to basically come over them. Now the first turn is straight, so just at the back, and then basically just draw these fibres back. Now I'm going to go, just caught one there. And then rib-like, just bring it up through the body. Just wind it up, using up the hackle. The stems of these feathers are a wee bit thick, but you can encourage them to sit. They will sit for you. Now, just watch this point here, just make sure there's some long fibres there, make sure they're out of the way. And you've got enough feathers, enough fibre there. Let's see where we are. That looks okay. Just come between it now, do across the feathers and do a turn on the hook. Swap fingers, do the same. And once you've got 2 or 3 turns in, you can continue a turn on the feather and a turn on the hook. You have to do that to lock them in. And then you can trim away the waste. Just a wee quick look, see how things are sitting. Now I'm encouraging these fibres to stay out, so that I can bring up my rib. Now the rib, looking round about 5-6 turns or so. Turn at the back especially, to protect the back of the body. And then we work our way up. We can ignore these fibres to a point, just we don't want to trap in too many. But the more you ignore them, the better sometimes. To get to the top, just draw back the fibres. Your hackle, just stroke them back with your fingers, come up with the last turn. Catch it in. Now that will lock in, because it's crossed over the turns of hackle, it will hold them really tight. Then we can trim away. Now what I'm going to do here is make sure there's wax on my thread. So there's plenty of grip and there's a nice piece of thread down, ready for tying in the hackle. Now see what it looks like. Just going to run my fingers through it. Now we're ready to tie in in this case. I'm going to tie in this. It's a large feather, or medium to large, widgeon body feather. I want these nice marked tips. Now you don't need a lot of turns. Just going to draw back the fibres I don't need. Tie it in by the tip. Get it as close to the tip as you can, so you get the nice short fibres as well as the long ones. Just draw it back, just like that. Have that the front of the hackle face yourself. 2 or 3 turns in, fold back, come over the stem and the point, so that you can tuck it back and you've got plenty of grip. Trim away the tip. And then what we do is just fold the hackle. Now it's very easy to overdo it. We'll see how many turns, because practically every hackle is different. It will not sit for you. The closer to the tip you go, the better, because the further down the stem you go, the more likely the fibres will start to twist on you. So what I'm doing here is just encouraging these fibres to lay back. Now I can see there's enough fibre there by taking these away, because this will get me around that wee half turn that I need, ready to tie in. And I can secure that down. And then remove the waste. Now these feather fibres are all twisted by my winding, so they're basically, what you've got to do is bring these back where they should be lying. Just bring them back around slightly, and they'll sit better for you. Just roll the fibres within your fingers. Now, when we're happy with the feathers and fibres are sitting, it's okay. We can tie in peacock neck. Now I've got a large peacock neck feather. See, it's nice blue. And basically all I'm going to do is tie it in the top. I'm just going to remove the fluff. And make sure the stem's in line with the shank when you tie it on. I always like the tips come basically towards the back of the hook. So all I'm going to do is just pull it in. You can roll these fibres, run it through your fingers like this. What that does, it lifts the fibres on the side up on top on both sides. And we can tie these on. So there we are. There's the length that we want. And then we pinch and loop. Try and keep it right on top. Keep the stem in line with the shank. Just a wee bit of moisture on your fingers just to see how it looks. That's fine. You're happy, just trim away the waste. bit of wax on your thread and make sure this is secure. It's not going to pull out. Form a nice head with the thread. That's fine. We're looking for 2 jungle cock eyes. I'm always looking for the jungle cock from either side of the cape because it gives you a right and a left. So that the natural curve of the feather comes round with the wing. So tie these on a nice length in the jungle cock. So come down a bit further. That's fine. Nice and tight. 3 or 4 turns in. Quick look down from the top. Always changes the look of the fly when you add the jungle cock. Now to protect that and stop it getting pulled out, we carry on down, then draw back the waist ends. Bring the thread to the front and build it from the front up, so we get a nice shape in the head. The thread is going to be the colour, so it's going to be so make sure it's nice and clean. Then we can break away, or cut away these jungle cock waists, and you straighten it at finish. Always keep the thread tight, don't let the thread go if you can. It's amazing the slack turns, the thread will, if you let the thread go, it sometimes can loosen off a bit. Quick look. It's a nice fly, it's a nice colour combination. Wing, that blue wing is amazing. And then, as I say, always usually for speed I like to touch the head all the way around with some super glue at first, which sets really quick. Don't touch the feathers though, be careful with that. And once the super glue dries, doesn't take long, 5-10 minutes or so. Probably dry before that, but give it that, and then you want to add a couple of coats of varnish. You see it's a really nice looking fly. I'll let you see the body a wee bit better. You can see the colours, the colour blend's good. And with a wee bit of the Widgeon or Teal, it adds a lovely colour to it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and that's what I call the Peacock Spey.